In the previous videos we've been looking at the search function of the Hansard at Huddersfield website. In this video we'll start to explore the explore function, and if you click on the explore button you can see a second menu which allows you to look at Hansard through word clouds or through sunbursts. This video is going to look at the word cloud, so if you click on by words you'll see that there's a slider at the top of the word cloud which allows you to change the year, and therefore the word cloud will change as you delineate a different timeline. So if we move along to 1946 to 7, you can see that some of the largest words there are Ireland, which you can click on and select, and if you search that you'll get a distribution line just as you did in the search function. You can then add a second one and you can see that England is there too, so let's click on that and search on England, and then you've got the two overlapping distribution graphs as you had before, and you can then click on the distribution graph and download the contributions as you did in the search function. You can download the image just as you did before, or the data into an Excel file similarly as you did before. You can reset the terms so that you'll stay with the same word cloud, but you change the ones that you decide to choose. So in this case you might decide, instead of Ireland and England, to look at money. And you might decide that you want to compare that with, for example, poor. And again, there are some interesting moments of crossover between the two subjects when people are talking about money and when they're talking about the poor. And you can click through and retrieve the contributions with those words in context. If we reset the terms here, you'll see that you can also retrieve an image of the word cloud itself, and if you want to, once you've clicked on some of the words, for example Ireland, you can then also download an image with the highlighted word in place. You can see that the words in the word clouds are often very general, which is not a huge surprise when we're looking at the most frequent words in Hansard. So some of the differences between the years may be quite subtle. We have created what's known as a stop list, so that words that are purely connected with parliamentary life, such as Right Honourable, Gentleman and so on, have been excluded. Otherwise you would get even less information in these word clouds. It's possible that we may make that stop list even bigger and exclude some of the more general words, so that you get more of a sense of content rather than style in these word clouds. Another way that we are currently providing to limit the word cloud is by grammatical tag. If you just want to see the nouns from your selected years, you can click on noun or verb, and as you can see it can give you a sense of what kinds of actions are being discussed in any particular period. We go back to any for the word cloud. You can also click on semantic tags. These are a little bit limited at the moment. As you can see, if you connect with people, you get very few words just connected with those that refer to people. But it can show you something about the time. If you look at morality, for example, and then you decide that you're interested in how morality turns up in word clouds at different periods, you can see that that changes, and responsibility particularly becomes more frequent as you go through the timeline. and duty perhaps more as you go backwards in time. In the next video I'll talk about the sunburst way of exploring Hansard.